Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here today to do my TBR for the video gameathon.
Oh hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
If you missed my last video, the video gameathon is a readathon I am hosting with Dani over at Current Chapter. It will run from July 1st to July 7th and there's a bunch of prompts surrounding a bunch of different video games. So I will put a picture of the card here. This is kind of like a bingo card. It's more to encourage you to pick some books that fit into some of the prompts. If you want extra details about the readathon, I will leave a link down below to both of our videos so you can see anything extra that I am missing. But for now, let's jump right into it. So as you see on the left side of the bingo board, this is video games that fall into the 90s. So the first prompt is Final Fantasy VII, and for this you have to read a sequel. So this year, one of my goals is to finish quite a bit of series, and one of them that I want to finish is the Poppy War. This is the Dragon Republic. Essentially, the Poppy War follows a girl named Rin who comes from a very poor family. The only way she can really escape the life that she was living was to marry or go to school at this prestigious war university. Rin is able to get into the university and thus trains for a huge war. When she is at this university, she discovers that she has these kind of powers, that she is able to manipulate things, and soon after she discovers this fact, a war begins to happen on her people. The novel is based on the Second Sino-Japanese War, and it is just as gruesome as it was. R.F. Kuang really depicts everything that was tragic and horrible about the war, and although the Poppy War was a difficult book to read, it was extremely engaging, extremely fascinating, so I'm very looking forward to continuing with this book. The next prompt in the 90s is Chrono Trigger, and this is for time travel. So for this prompt, I actually have two books. The first of which is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This book just came out, I think, last month. This is Casey McQuiston's sophomore novel. They had written Red, White, and that comes after Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is so difficult to say. I had to say it 3 times. This is a sapphic romance that follows a woman named August who is 23 and living in New York City waiting tables. She really doesn't think anything will come of her life until one day when taking the metro, or sorry, the subway, which is the American way of saying it, August meets this gorgeous woman named Jane. However, running into Jane every day comes with a little bit of a catch, as Jane is actually from the 1970s and she is kind of caught in this time warp situation. So I think for this week I will be listening to it on audio, so I'm very excited to listen to this and I'm hoping that I will absolutely adore it because I love Casey McQuiston's writing. And the next prompt from the 90s is Pokemon, and that is for red or blue on the cover, and I can use the Dragon Republic for this because as you see it has blue on the cover, but I can also use Life is Strange Dust Volume 1 that has red and blue on the cover. But essentially, if you didn't watch my announcement video, Life is Strange Dust Volume 1 is a continuation graphic novel series that comes after the Life is Strange video games. This graphic novel series is written by Emma Viacelli, Claudia Leonardi, and Andrea Izzo. From what I understand, it is a direct sequel, but essentially the video game follows a girl named Max Caulfield who moves back to the town of Arcadia Bay after being away for a while. Once there, she runs into her old friend while also discovering that Max has the ability to time travel and to manipulate time and stop time, and it's a wild ride full of emotions and impactfulness that this game still, like, I think about it and I want to cry. So I'm hoping that the graphic novel makes me feel the same.
I also forgot to mention that this is the buddy read for the readathon, so if you would like to participate with us, you can pick it up and me and Dani will be reading it together.
In the 2000s prompt, the first choice is The Sims, and this is to read an Own Voices book. And for that, I have The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. The next prompt underneath is Nintendogs, and this is to read a cozy book. I originally had One Last Stop there for this prompt just because it is a sapphic romance, and I'm sure it's going to give me all the cozy feels. But I kind of really wanted to push myself for this readathon, so I decided to go with Neon Genesis Evangelion Volumes 1, 2, and 3, which was written by Yoshiyuki Sadamoto. And this is a novelization of the Neon Genesis Evangelion anime. That anime is one of my favorite animes I've ever watched in my life. I've seen it a couple of times now and it means a lot to me. It would make sense that I would pick this for the cozy book prompt because although it is extremely tragic and horrifying sometimes, it still makes me feel cozy, and it's one of my comfort animes, and I don't know what that says about me, don't judge me. But essentially, this follows a world in Neo-Japan where mankind is kind of on the brink of what is called the third impact. And I won't go into too much details about what the third impact is, but essentially angels, these beings that are called angels, are coming down to Earth to destroy Neo-Tokyo. And these teenagers are put into these mecha robots called Evangelion units in order to fight the angels set to destroy the Earth. This follows our main character called Shinji, and I just cannot wait to dive into this series again. I'm completely looking forward to it. And then for the final prompt in the 2000s column, we have Mass Effect. So this is for a book that's not set on Earth. So for this one, I decided to go with the Adventure Zone Volume 3. This is written by the McElroy brothers and is essentially a graphic novelization of their podcast. So I can't exactly explain why this doesn't take place on Earth, because I think it's kind of a spoiler for the first graphic novel, or the first season in this podcast. This graphic novel series follows Taco, Magnus, and Merle, and they always make me really happy, and it always makes me laugh. I love the art in these graphic novels, and I have enjoyed the other volumes that I've read, volumes 1 and 2, so I know I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm itching to pick this one up. Then we move into the 2010s column. So the first one is Life is Strange, and this is for LGBTQ plus rep in it. So obviously the Life is Strange graphic novel falls into this, and also the sapphic romance of One Last Stop. The next row is The Witcher 3, and this is for a book that has magic in it. So for that, we're gonna go with The Dragon Republic, and also the Adventure Zone fits into that as well. And then the final prompt is for The Last of Us. This is for a spooky horror book, and I really wanted to complete all the prompts, so I absolutely had to find a book to fit this prompt, and I had forgotten and then remembered that I have Lock and Key Volume 2 by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez, so I knew what's another graphic novel. So essentially, Lock and Key is a very creepy and disturbing graphic novel series that follow the 3 Locke children. These kids are a survivor of a devastating and murderous home invasion where they lost their father. In this volume, they are just starting to rebuild their lives in this home in, I think, a house where their father once lived, if I'm not mistaken. And the youngest son, Bode, discovers a key that has absolutely incredible powers. So this was extremely spooky when I read it last year. I'm kind of really looking forward to not reading this in October, because I usually reserve all my horror books and stuff for October, but I actually found that I enjoy reading horror. So I'm really looking forward to picking this up in other months of the year, and maybe that'll help me like not restrict myself to October reads only. And like, I just want to show you how creepy this cover is. Like, look at that. Oh my god. So that's it. A pretty ambitious TBR for a 7-day readathon, but I feel like I could do this. I think it's reasonable. 6 books. I think it's reasonable. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books. Are you participating in Video Gameathon? Please let me know. Let me know what you're reading for any of the prompts. If you would like to connect with me on any social media, I do leave a link to my Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads down below. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, because it does support my channel and helps me out. But that's it. I don't know what else to say. I always feel awkward doing this, so I guess I will see you next time. Bye!